Alright, so hey guys, I hope you're doing good. Roshan here. In this video, I'm going to cover how you can leverage micro influencers to your advantage and basically generate profitable sales if you are an e-commerce brand that is just starting out. And in the last video, I talked about why micro influencers are important and why you should never ever do paid advertising if you are a new brand. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead, watch that. It will start to make more sense why I'm talking about micro influencers in this one. So let's jump straight into the video. So micro influencers for e-commerce brand, right? So first of all, for anyone who does not know what a micro influencer is, who are these people? So a micro influencer is anyone that has audience of ranging from 5,000 to 50,000 followers, not anything above 50k, because at that point it's not really a micro influencer. So most often we find micro influencers or Instagram. That's where we find more engaging audiences. So we find people who have 5 to 50,000 followers with their audience, and these are basically the micro influencers. Next is, why leverage micro influencers? That's a good question, right? So if you are an e-commerce brand that is just starting out, you have the website up, you have everything, but you are struggling to get sales. Okay, because the reason why you are struggling is because you have no customers, you have no trust with your brand, you do not have your brand built online yet. So in that case, what you do is, in order to gain trust, you find one of these micro influencers who already have existing trust with their audiences. You simply leverage their trust by sending them a product, paying them to promote you on their behalf, and you get trust with their audiences. And when you get that trust, people who like your products will likely make a purchase because they trust the influencer. Now they trust your brand as well, in order to buy online. So that's why leveraging micro influencer is so important, because when you do paid advertising, there is no sort of authority or anything, right? Because you're just a random stranger to these people and they have no reason to buy from you, even if they love what you have to sell, because there's just not so much trust built. So that's why micro influencers are an amazing option to go with if you are a brand that is just shutting out. At least this is a goal for you. So next is how to grow your e-commerce brand leveraging micro influencers, right? So first of all, you find 10 to 50 micro influencers in your specific niche. Okay, in your specific niche. You cannot just find a random micro influencer that just has an audience and try to promote your product through them. It's just not going to work out. So you have to find people with your specific target audience on Instagram, and you do that by going just simply on Instagram. You put your niche. Let's say you are a supplement brand, you just go ahead, type supplements, and you find some influencers on the search. You do not reach out to those people, you click on them, you go to the suggested through Instagram, and then you find more people who qualify. Okay, so I will talk about how to get the people. So once you find 10 to 50 micro influencers, you put them into an Excel sheet, then you start reaching out to them, start DMing them and initiate conversations, and send them a DM through your business Instagram page. And you send them a DM, you have conversations, and then you make an offer. First of all, I would really recommend you try to build a genuine relationship. And once you have really have that personal connection with that influencer, you have really made them as your friend, and you exchange values and tell them why exactly that you have handpicked that specific micro influencer and not the others and stuff like that. Basically make them feel important, right? So make an offer and then send out your product. Okay, you give them the product for free because they are promoting you on your for your brand. So you make an offer, you send out your product. Or what you can do is, if you are not sending out them product and if they demand you to pay them, in that case what you do is, you do not send out your product, just simply pay them. And the pay usually varies from $50 $100. Okay, $50 to $100 is like the range, an average range for these influencers. So depending on that, you do make an offer, and then you get featured on their social handle. Okay, you get featured on their social handle, and then you repeat. Okay, so you constantly repeat this process, and find the best influencers, best target audience. And basically, when you start leveraging influencers, you are going to make sales if that's the right person with the right audience that you are targeting. And when you get these people to purchase from you, first of all, you will bring brand authority, because you will start getting testimonials, reviews. And if there are flaws in your brand, which definitely there will be, because you have to iterate and constantly improve, you will be able to hear what the customer feedback is, and there's just so many things you will figure figure out. Okay, instead of burning your money on paid ads, go with micro influencers. So next is how to make profitable sales leveraging micro influencers, because we are not just leveraging these people to get our brand out there. We want sales because that's how you grow a business, right? So you want to make sales initially, to figure out your product market fit. Sales are just non-negotiable. You cannot just promoting your brand to get awareness. So let's do some math on it. So let's say your margins are 60%, an average margin for an e-com brand, and influencer cost, let's say, is $50. They reject your freebie and they want to get paid. So let's say you pay them $50, and your sales price, let's say your product price is usually $30, and that's the one you're trying to promote, and you get 3 orders by that influencer, but the micro influencer promoting your product. Let's say 3 orders would be a break even for you, right? Because 60% margins, he will make approx $54 in profit. $50 you have already paid them, so $4 in profit. Let's just consider that as break even. And if you get 4 orders of $30 each, you make I don't know, like $120 in revenue, 60% margins. After that, you are left with $22 profit after influencer cost. So you spend $50 to pay the influencer, get the attention, and you made sales, and then now you have $22 in profit, which is nice, right? Because the $22 profit, we are not really focused on that. What we are actually focused on is growing the business, building the proof of concept, and not just running ads blindly and trying to shoot in the dark and just expecting it to hit the target. It's just much harder. Here it's just so much easier because you have the trust built. So next is how to find the most qualified micro influencers, because not everyone can do these numbers. However, it's very simple, but if you go about the wrong way, you're definitely not going to do it, right? So how to find the most qualified micro influencers? Factors to determine best micro influencers are: first is followers. They have to have a minimum of 5,000. I would recommend 10k, but minimum is 5k, and the highest you can go is 50,000, because if you go above 50,000, the audience is just not as engaged and stuff like that. So you focus on 5 to 50,000 followers, micro influencers. Next is their engagement rate. They have to have a minimum of 2%, and 20% is like the best. 2 to 20% is good. Ideally, it will be around 6%, which is nice. So assuming they have 10k followers, they should be getting at least 200 likes to 2000 likes on their post, and 600 is like the average likes on a 10,000 follower account. Okay, so make sure they have a good engagement rate, because if they are not interacting with their audiences and they are just not as communicative with their audience, you are not going to see a lot of sales. Okay, because you want to leverage a micro influencer that has genuine connection with their audience. Only then the audience will listen to what the influencer has to promote. Next is their past promotional campaigns. You have to make sure that the influencer you're working with is not doing like promotional post every other day. Okay, you want to make sure someone that purely posts a lot of value content to their audience, and make sure that they have not made enough promotions. And the way you can do that, the way you can do this is by simply asking them on DMs when you're chatting with them before you make an offer to them. So basically ask them how many promotions they've done, how frequently they do it, and just try to aim closer to zero. Aim closer to zero. Just try aiming closer to like literally no promotions I've done. I don't think that will be possible, but yeah, if they're doing like monthly promotions, that's fine as well. But every other day or every week, you may not get as many conversions by them promoting at that point. So next is search ranking. Make sure the influencer you're reaching out to is not ranking on the platform search. So now in this case, we are talking about Instagram specifically. Make sure when you search your niche on search, make sure the person who shows up first, you never ever reach out to them. Now this may be very contrary to what you might think. The person is ranking, they are more likely to get reach. That's correct, but at the same time, what you have to realize is that there are other brands in your niche. There are thousands or millions of brands in your same niche, and you have to understand that these people are reaching out to this influencer as well. So what you have to do is, the person that first shows up in the search, you have to click on them, click the suggested, and go through as many accounts as possible and find someone that is not easily searchable. Okay, so when you find that influencer, not many people would have asked them to promote the product, and they would have more strong audiences, The search ranking should not rank in platform search. The micro influencers shouldn't rank. So influencer followers to buying customers percentage is ideally around 1 to 5%. So assume if the influencer has like 10,000 followers, 10 you should be able to get 10 orders by that influencer promoting your product, considering that you have checked all these boxes. Okay, 10 to 50 orders are like ideal, but don't expect like a huge return on your first time, because you have to go through this. This is not like, just a one time process. You obviously have to test, but it's much simpler and more like, it gives a better ROI at the end of the day. So pretty much like, you test, improve, repeat. So what I would say is like, find your first micro influencer, like, not first, I would say like find 5 first influencers, send them products, or like, pay them whatever, get them to promote, and then you see what kind of data you're getting. Okay, so first thing is data. You see how many like, people have interacted with the post they make, and how many people checked out your website, how many have ordered. You then test based on the data next time, and then what you do is you have the data, you test, you improve. Okay, you make sure what went right, what went wrong, what was that the timing of the post that was off. Like, you have to see all these elements, you have to improve, and then you have to repeat, go back to this thing again, do it with other people. Okay, so make sure that when you do this, you are getting as much profit as possible, or at least like, making a profit at least. Okay, you have to be very strategic about this, guys. You cannot just be like, oh, I'm going to run an e-commerce brand, I'm just going to put money into advertising, marketing. No, you have to make sure profitability is there, because the big thing about e-com is being profitable. 60% margins are must. You can go barely to 50% product margins, but make sure you hold on to your profit margins, because you need them in order to grow your business, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you found some value. If you did, comment down below and let me know what kind of videos you want around in the next ones. All right, guys, cheers, bye.